And I request all of you to kindly hold your meeting till such time, or hold your questions till such time I'm finished off with one of the session, and then we'll have a discussion as we go along. Crisis is not new to humanity. Crisis has been happening on a regular basis, but this is the first time in 100 years that we have faced it during our lifetime. Otherwise, crisis has happened even in the last 100 years, and even before that in the last 100 years, and even before that. So this is not the first time that we are facing in such eventualities. I would request all of you to basically try and see how you can engage your team, how you can engage yourself, and how you can engage your ideas, your concept, and your business for a change, because we are all going to have in some kind of change. If you note, world over, the business is going to move in from whatever it was pre-COVID into a post-COVID scenario, where a lot of uncertainty definitely is there, because you do not know how the market will respond. People had a lot of disposable income, and a lot of disposable income that they had, they could make in, decisions to go with their desires. But today the desires will be limited to the need, the basic need. So if you basically analyze the business, you have the business on three aspects. Point number one, the business which is there has got a need, and it comes with a requirement when you have a specification to the need, and then it becomes a want when you have an elevated need or you have a desire towards it. Now, most of us who are into the business or who are managing concerns need to understand this. The want aspect of it is going to reduce, and the need aspect of it is going to remain. So people are not going to overspend as they were spending before. So moving on, even the currency such as the US dollar is under stress. So it's just not you, me, or people around, it's everybody who's under stress. Economy is not working as normal. And what we plan to cover during this time is, how do we manage the human resources? How do we identify the things that we need to change? How do we tackle the resistance to the change? What tools do we use? How do we improve our decision-making skills collectively, collaboratively, because this is a new environment that we are going to step into? And how identify how stress can be handled at all levels? Most importantly, what are the different ways in which you can communicate? Because even after the lockdown is open, you'll still have a lot of restrictions in terms of movement. If you're geographically located in Thrissur or any other place, and you're within a geographical area of, let's say, 25 to 30 kilometers, but if people are doing business elsewhere, you need to pay a thought in terms of what will be the new rhythm of finding business, how would you do business? And evaluating personal finances as well as your organizational finances, and most importantly, gaining a whole new perspective of doing business. Now, if you note, I want to give you an example of a couple of organizations which were only into delivery of food. For example, Uber, Zomato, and you had also people who were basically delivering food from Swiggy, currently carrying essential items and also groceries, just like Big Basket. So the business model has to be tweaked and changed. And if the business model has to be tweaked and changed, you need to relook at the business model, and you'll have to adapt how you will basically minimize the after effect of COVID-19 on your business. Now, we had a lockdown, so a lot of us couldn't carry off business. A lot of people are still scared, so normalcy would return only in a while. As you understand human psychology, you face a certain problem, you come back and you get engaged only after you're sure of the fact. So we are dealing with a lot of uncertainty. So world over, leaders are also trying to discuss and get over this uncertainty. People have never in their lifetime faced kind of uncertainty. For the people who are currently on, nobody is above the age of 100 in any of the country's leadership. So what I bring forth to you as leaders, you as proprietors, you as entrepreneurs, you as head of your institution, how do you succeed basically as a leader? Very fundamental thing. This has been picked up from the Tirukkural, which is available. What it says is, in any situation that you're currently facing with your years of wisdom and your years of knowledge, unless and until you don't stay calm, collected, you cannot design a new business model. And for the new business model to come in, you cannot have just your years of experience put together. You also have to take the collective years of experience and plus the young youth who are there with you in business. If I may suggest to all business leaders today who are there in this session, whether you are a doctor, whether you have a manufacturing concern, whether you are a consultant, whether you are a freelancer, whether you are an organization, or whether you are even a solopreneur, you have to imbibe a collaborative spirit to move forward. And how do you do that? You basically have to collectively involve all people in to brainstorm as to how do you run your existing business in a worst case scenario. In the absence of information, because we don't have any information which has happened, which gives you an insight in terms of if for such a pandemic, how do you basically respond? I suggest hold on only to relevant information. Your team looks at you as a leader for you to guide them. I know most of us also as leaders have a lot of uncertainty of running the business. But during these uncertain times, it is more important to be transparent, candid with your team members, and collectively start working towards it rather than working in isolations or silos. This often happens when you do not have direction. We always shut ourselves down. Psychologically, what we try to do is we shut ourselves down because we don't have answers to the collective questions that comes from our team. So if I may suggest to all of you, it is very important for all of you to have patience, politeness, and perseverance in terms of driving your team to a collective, collaborative methodology of bringing in new ideas, bringing in new thought processes, and bringing in new strategies into business. If you had a certain way of working or running your business, you need to look at doing the business differently. And why I'm asking you to do this is to survive and to connect. It is most important to understand that you as an organization belong to an era post COVID-19. So that belongingness, that camaraderie of coming together and strategizing your business is very critical. Now, how do you become your best selves? Many of the issues that we all have today is we all basically fundamentally do not understand the fact that we elaborate, extrapolate, and emotionally reach to a lot of decisions with minimal facts. We are actually anticipating the economy to have a downturn, whereas there is a lot of possibilities also of a lot of companies coming into India post this COVID-19. If you are watching the world leaders and the organizations, corporates, blue chip industries, all of them are trying to get in view into India. And since they're trying to get in view into India, they are also trying to see that how can India be the next base for all manufacturing as well as support industries to move in. And if you're actually looking at that, you basically have a large opportunity because we have the youngest population between the age bracket of 22 to 35, which is roughly around 540 million. With 540 million people and new people coming into the spree of getting jobs, we need talented resources with the right kind of understanding of technology to have an enabled process of functioning during this post-COVID times. Hence, I would suggest to all business leaders today present to basically look at what forms of refinement can you bring to your existing old practices where you can become more on a digital front, more on an operational front, and how can you bring in down redundancies which were there pre-existing into your system post the COVID-19. Your organization has to have clear expectations in terms of what changes you want to bring in. And as leaders, you have to lower your expectation because the market is not going to react the way you expected it to react post COVID-19. So if you're practical, it'll be all the more better than rather than being wishful about it. That's point number one. Point number two, what is the new normal? If you have a team size of 20 people, 30 people, you're chartered accountants placed at various places connected. The order of the day is that you can only manage this business virtually because travel takes time, travel takes cost. Yes, human interaction currently is so very critical. Today, people have got to know in the last 40 days that without even human interaction on a personal note, on a digital note, you can still run business. But yes, there are certain businesses that cannot run on a digital mode, for instance, manufacturing for that matter of fact. If you have a call center facility, can the call center facility be run out of everybody's house? Only if the bandwidth and the equipment is possible. So you have to virtually do a feasibility study to basically do this. But what is the new normal? First of all, if you have any resistance with regards to your way of conduct of business, please remove that resistance to change. The first change has to start with you as a leader. If you start as a leader with change, then you can also help your team resist the change. What basically happens with years of experiences, we become very, very rigid and we are not flexible to carry ourselves forward. So today the new norm is keeping the experience, bettering with the experience in terms of bringing in flexibility into the system. And most importantly, what you need to do is you need to focus on the new normal. Can you run the business differently? Can you run it differently? How do you run this differently? To run this differently and to lead this differently, you should have a clear modus operandi or a clear agreement between you and your team to basically decide how are you going to run this business. And for that, what is most important is you have to map all the resources within your organization design framework to decide who's going to be into planning, who's going to get into strategizing, who's going to handle operations, who's going to handle finance, how are you going to run this business effectively. If I may say, the only thing that you can do during this crisis is the change. And how do you bring that change into the business is most critical. Now, I understand all of you are different from different industries, different heterogenical, businesses which is there. I've been doing seminars more than I've been doing during the pre-lockdown period. I've been doing trainings more than in the pre-lockdown period. And why people have started getting into educating themselves and why there is so much of traffic onto platforms such as Coursera or possibly a Udemy or a EDX, which is a Harvard-based platform, or any digital platformers, the people who are between the age bracket of 45 to 60 are today registering for a digital online course to understand how to go digital. So it is starting with the leadership. It's not starting with the team members. Yes, youngsters are definitely joining in. Youngsters, college-going students and school-going students are also registering themselves. But there is a spike in terms of the kind of understanding that they're trying to create in terms of understanding the new norm. Now, if you basically are running a foundry unit, if you're doing a foundry unit has got, especially in the Indian condition, doesn't have clear automation. So Omar sir, if I take in an example, we are not as equipped as the rest of the world is. The rest of the world, especially China, has got people who have got experiences related to tooling, related to specific areas of production, related to electronics to a specific area. Now, what makes China different from India is they started bringing out batch of human beings with skill sets to match the industry. We are far away from this skill set, but we have the youngest population available. And hence it is suggested that you have to look at the new normal. And what is the new normal today? The new normal today is that you have to be as educated, informed, empowered, and enabled as your team member. So if you have a youngster who's a millennial or a Z, it is all the more important that all the millennials and Zs are also a part of your organizational evolution. Why I call this an organizational evolution is if you have been technically doing a job today this way, tomorrow you can do it differently. Amazon had displaced the complete market by moving everything from A to Z of the products on a portal through which you could order, and you can get it on 3 different forms of services. Now, is it possible by all of you? Yes, it is possible. You have a consortium of companies or different entrepreneurs working together, and it is today the new normal to work on an app-based platform with contributions of A to Z. So can you turn around things? Yes, you cannot. You can turn around things. If China was manufacturing PPEs which were not effective, Tirupur has come back and said it can produce. Bangalore has come and said it can produce. You have all the rest of the places contributing towards it. This is the right time to revive the market back. If I may say, gentlemen, the first change happens with you for you to drive the change within the system. And what does that lead us to? That leads us to the most important thing. We are overthinking of a situation. A lockdown has to end. A new thing or the new normal has to start. And how do you handle this? There are different ways of handling this. And to handle this, I suggest that instead of trying to get further information, you as leaders start communicating with your team members. Keep the communication channel on. Look at businesses if it can be run differently on a different scale. Today, you wouldn't believe of the fact there are chartered accountants who have come on a virtual platform trying to help organizations to replan their taxes for future. They are also telling organizations how to scale down operations, and how to scale down operations in the sense where the expense is much more. Companies even like Aramco is basically getting into trying to reduce their certain train production where the cost of running the production is much more higher, whereas the barrel demand has reduced drastically. So you can see that it is not just the large organizations or the small organizations which is affected, everybody is affected. I would suggest you to develop in new habits of getting to meet your team like you're meeting today on Zoom, virtually, to run your business at a low cost of operations, if it is possible. Now, what we are doing for large organizations, they have not discontinued their training enablement, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to educate their teams for the new normal. So they're learning new technologies, they're learning how to use the platforms, they're learning how to run the meetings virtually, they're learning how to lead the teams virtually, they're learning how to strategize electronically, they're also collectively trying to do business and business modeling remotely. Usually it happened in a, let's say, a 10x4 or a 10x6 meeting room. Today it's all virtual. So it is a good time for all of us to sit back, collect our thoughts, go into all the aspects of basically working on what we haven't worked about or thought about in the last several years. This is the right time for each one of you today attending this session to upskill yourself. It is the right time. If there are students in this session, I would tell them, if they are from a BCon background, want to get into data analytics, learn Python. If you are a person who wants to get into digital this thing, get into the complete Google certification module to understand, because Google controls the complete network. Understand how things work. I would also recommend each one of you to get down to the modules to understand how does this new economy work. If it is not understandable, there are sessions which are video sessions where you are taken step by step to basically understand how to do it. Now, before we move on to the next one, which is further in terms of how do you handle during the crisis, I am leaving the floor open and I am going to unmute one by one. But before which, we are going to follow a certain pattern during this meeting. I would request anybody who has a query so far to kindly raise the hand in the chat window that you have, and I'll unmute you so that you can have your questions asked, and then we move further. So I would request you to kindly raise your hand. Raise your hand is an option that is available in your chat, so you can go across and raise your hand. Once you raise your hand, then I can actually bring you on, and then we can do a backward exercise of understanding. I have one person who's clapping. Can I unmute you, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I've unmuted you, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name is Ajit Kumar.
Hello,
Sir,
sir.
your presentation was really good. Now, for the last few years, we were having disruptive technology. Technology was changing very fast. It
Right, sir.
was said we were having a disruptive technology, and we had to also change our technology fast. Otherwise, it will not be possible for us to survive.
Right, sir.
Now, we have got this COVID-19 outbreak. Now, everything in the world is turned upside down. Now, I feel now whatever digitalization and more technology that we bring to our this small scale businesses or MSMEs, I feel that it will be beneficial for bigger corporates who have got deep pockets. Like you mentioned about Amazon. Amazon is bringing in new innovations because they can afford to do that. So what will be the future of MSMEs and SMEs, even if they implement this digitalization after this corona period? Because we do not know how far the disease is going to last and what will be the end of the season. Maybe it is 6 months, maybe after 6 months. So what will be the future? I think that, business and all entrepreneurship, everything will be more and more going to big corporates who have got deep pockets. That's my question.
Sort of wonderful question asked. If you understand, if you take any animal, let's say for instance, if you take an animal which is as large as an elephant, and if you are attacked from the back, it doesn't have the flexibility, nor it doesn't have the adaptability to shift, change, or change sides. Now, if you take an example of Amazon, if I can relate the example of an Amazon, Amazon needs MSMEs like you, MSMEs like us. It needs, because even if you pick up a product from A place and deliver it to B place, there is also a logistics involved and there is also a proximity involved. Now the question is, what you were giving at rupees 100, can you give it at rupees 90 with Amazon's part included as a commission onto it, is a question to ask. Now this flexibility or this change can only happen if we as business leaders do a complete finance side of it to understand if we are operationally feasible to run this business. Now, even if it's a basket or anybody for that matter of fact, let's say for instance, you run a supermarket and you do not have daily footfalls as much as you got footfalls during the weekend, it becomes important for you to supply to those people who don't fit into your consumer category because they only buy in bits and pieces. Some people only purchase as much. But if you have a large consumer base, then you should look at getting all those things to cater to those kind of clients. Now, why I'm telling you this is, we have very limited information when we work on a brick and mortar model. What happens when you work on a digital model is you can analyze a complete purchase pattern and a consumer behavior pattern, a consumer consumption pattern. And when you understand this, you can align your business in accordance. You can see where, what, who needs and align everything in accordance. Today, let me tell you, sir, digitally colleges and other people are basically catering to courses which you would have never heard in the last 5 to 6 years. Today, online, if I speak about courses or even for that matter of fact, Telangana and Bangalore, the vegetables are given by an app and the delivery person is a Swiggy or a Uber delivery person. Now, why I'm bringing you this is, physically the vegetable has to be collected from somewhere and dropped it elsewhere. And this is the same Kirana shop guy who was earlier never digital and only took hard-earned Indian rupee money in hand. Today he is on Google Pay, he is on Phone Pay, he is on everything. He has moved one more step ahead. What did he do? Since he cannot go and deliver the stuff to the next yard because of the lockdown, he is using this time for delivery. Where Domino's Pizzas was possibly running with 12 people in its kitchen, today it's reduced down to probably 1/3 and they're still functioning. So today the new normal is you have to look at your scale of operation vis-a-vis the revenue that you make and the bottom line that you can create. So a top line, a bottom line, and the scale of operation has to be analyzed to understand how do you survive. So without MSMEs, large organizations cannot function. Be it a Tata, be it a Birla, be it a JLR, be it anybody. Unless and until you don't manufacture fasteners, you can't assemble the parts. You are an integral part of the system. But can you adapt to the new digital this thing? Do you understand how to move into this? Is the question. Sir, I hope I have answered your point, sir. Let me just unmute you, sir. I hope I've answered your points.
Unmute.
Yeah. So I want all of you to kindly understand, sir. I've unmuted you, sir. Please go ahead, sir. You raised your hand.
I'd like to ask a simple question.
Okay.
There is generally a feeling that the large industries, they swallow the MSMEs. But
Right.
let me know how can most of the MSMEs are feeding into the larger industrial houses. For example, large industries everybody cannot set up.
Sir, if I can give you an example of what is going to happen in the manufacturing sector, especially related to automobiles. Let me take an example of automobiles. Automobiles is going to move into EV. A standard automobile, for instance, like an LCV, which is a low commercial vehicle, or you have a heavy commercial vehicle, has standard parts of close to about 8,600 parts provided by Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, and Tier 5 suppliers. Now, when an EV vehicle comes in, the entire number of parts is going to be reduced down to the 250 parts. Or maximum, it goes up to 300 parts. If it goes up to 300 parts, my first question is, are all these Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 companies equipped, first of all, to bring in this change? Because in the past, they would have never done a capital investment as much as that would be required now. Now, there are two capital investments in this. There is human capital investment, and there is also another capital investment, which is in the form of machinery and other things. Now, for this change to happen, it can only happen if we produce in volumes. If you produce in small numbers, definitely the price will be much more larger. But if I have a requirement which is large, there will be no such problem. I'll give you a very simple example of food trucks running in US, food trucks running all across globally, and food trucks running in India. In India, it's still a new concept. In the US, it's a very old concept. And there, running it on wheels is much more economical than running it out of a brick and mortar institution where the cost is much more higher. So you will have to look at economies of scale to basically create a demand. But unfortunately, what happens is, sir, we MSMEs, though we have an organization, we work in silos. We have to work together to create the demand. Please understand, collectively, you are a large consumer base as compared to anybody else globally. MSMEs create more employment than anybody else, but you have to bring in this change within your organization. Like a few years back, gold, which was done by people who basically sat and worked on it. Today, machine-based gold making is done, and all sorts of designs are done, but people still prefer handcrafted gold at a certain additional cost. Wastage is also slightly additional, but all these things are specifically demand specific to a period. I have a question from Mahesh, sir. I am a CA. I have a team of 14 to 15 people. Now I need an advice on how can I ascertain that I can change the team size as of the current situation. There is a lot of uncertainty. How can I take decision? Mahesh, sir, if I can tell you, please do not take any decision in haste. If you are working on a salary module, I request you to kindly discuss with your team, because still your services is required by the companies. So nobody is going to eventually shut down post COVID-19. It totally depends upon the client base that you have. If you have a client base as a mix of client base, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, large scale organizations, you have to find where does the business come in from. Is it coming in from majorly MSMEs, or is it coming in from corporates, or which segment? And you also try to understand, since you're a chartered accountant with them, to find out what business size do they have and how is this going to impact them. So what I suggest all entrepreneurs today to do is to speak with your clients on a regular basis, collect information, minus all exponential thinking or practices that people have, which is extrapolation of fear. If you are extrapolating fear, it will not give you anything. But if you're not extrapolating fear, I suggest you do one important thing: understand the fact from the horse's mouth. Always listen to your customer, understand what the problem is, minus all these aspects. You will exactly understand where your business is heading. Second thing, you will also have to look at your competition in terms of how the competition is innovating itself to the approach. Let me give you an example, sir. I'll give you my own example. I, as a trainer, when I go, you pay for my onward and outward journey ticket, which is there. You pay for my food. You put me on a vehicle for local transportation. Besides that, you also house me at a place. If I minus all these costs, am I still affordable? And if I come on a digital platform, do I need to charge you the same thing, or can I charge you differently? It is the flexibility that I have to bring in to survive the new normal. I must be making close to about 1 lakh now, but I might have to survive on a less than that, which is 20% or 30% for me to survive. That's a survival package. But are we willing to do that? Most of us as entrepreneurs are rigid enough to move to that level. Rigidity will not help. Mahesh sir, I hope I've answered your query. If you can kindly leave a message on the chat. Is there anybody else who has got a query? Because I understand that you have not used the chat function, neither have you raised your hand. So I just wanted to ask, is there anybody who wants to, can actually raise your hand? I can run through the video to see, and then I can unmute you. Clara ma'am, do you have a query? One moment, let me unmute you. Please go ahead.
No, initially I raised my hands not for this query. I don't have any query right now.
Okay, great. Anybody else has got a query? So how many of you have a Udemy account, if I can ask you? My question to all of you is, when is the last time you went into a classroom to learn, a digital classroom to learn? Or have you ever had a debut to open into a digital classroom? Now, for the benefit of everybody, I'm going to chat into the chat window. Please refer to these sites. One is Udemy. You go there before you can actually start paying for your course certifications. You can do 30 courses free. Somas Jeevan sir, wonderful. You're on a digital virtual classroom. Good. Are you educating your team after you have learned? That's his next question. Are you preparing your team to the next? Now, to basically run all these things, you need to understand how do you do the business. And to move on to that, the most important thing, please do not put in all the information in your head and start extrapolating things. So we are, as human beings, we very clearly as human beings have a big problem. We listen to 20% fact, we listen to 30% gossip, and rest is all extrapolation. Do you know, sir, today the largest queue outside is more at a liquor shop than possibly at a vegetable shop or a grocery vendor. The medicines are getting procured at 13 times the normal, which was never predicted by a pharma industry. Did you ever note a sanitizer, which was a dipping industry world over, at minus 25% year on year? Today it is at 1,648%. Did any one of us great human beings ever predict that? We didn't. Hence the new normal is, please only relate to information which is right. You watch COVID-19 from morning till evening, You will see Corona, even if it is not in front of you, you will still visualize it in your dreams. So please minus this thought. And second biggest problem we Malayalis have, I am myself a Malayali, is illata vishayam polum nammal aalochichu adine patti chintikkan thodanum. So please drop that. As human beings, we should drop that. Now, how do you avoid this? We have a fight or a flight response and a freeze response. What happens? My business is going to stop. Immediately, everything freezes in front of me. First resistance is to take people off the system. The second response is to get angry with them. For what? Arey Baba, you do not know how things are going to open up. Income tax, which is basically to be filed in, corporate tax, which has to be filed in, is all been extended. It's been extended. So post this, there is going to be a rush. Is the business going to drop? Probably you'll have to drop your service cost by a bit. But that you should be flexible to do it. If you have old stock of things which is lying in, minus the inventory cost and the cost of storage, you should try to get rid of it because there is an opportunity cost involved. All these things have to be analyzed much more in detail. Now, the best way to stay away is, since we are in front of the TV more than usual, please move away from this digital space and concentrate on things that will help you and revive your business. I suggest each one of you to go on to a very, very clear aspect of running business, which is to see how do you run the business the new way. There are a lot of thought processes which are given by leaders who have run the business during such lockdowns in the past. And to run this business, you need to understand the platform. And I'm requesting, humbly requesting each one of you, there is no age to learning. So please get in, create your account, start learning, understand how do you basically invest into the self-care of yourself and your team. Take in an opportunity to slow down yourself, give a thought. I was running this business 30 years this way. Is it time for me to basically repolish my skills and put it in a different manner? Should I only be a service provider, or do I need to become a consultant? Can I be a person who can basically give a turnaround for the current situation? Yes, it is possible. I do not know how many of you know, in China, breads are actually manufactured in large units which are nowhere related to bakery. They manufacture depend upon the requirement. There's a consolidated requirement that comes through an app, and the production unit starts manufacturing, and everything is done online. Payment, everything. What happens is finally the delivery only happens physically. Are you today in that aspect? Is this possible? Yes, it is possible. Milk, we need milk. We have collection points for Amul, we have collection points for Vijaya, we have collection points for Nandini, we have collection points for Milma. But can you collect it otherwise? Yes, there is a collection point possible with minimal human intervention. We have to go back to the age where we have to create our own. Just imagine Kerala today under the lockdown, if it doesn't get vegetables from elsewhere, from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, do we need to start back agriculture in our place? Yes, we definitely need to start agriculture back in our place. Why? Because Kerala 30 to 40 years back had a wonderful produce in their gardens which could feed a family comfortably, and the surplus could feed the neighbors also. But do we have enough of it today? So unlearn the things that you have not previously done. Unlearn a lot of things that you have never carried out previously. It is high time that we step down from our pedestals to understand that we collectively as a society has to work together. Now, there was one important point that was mentioned while the meeting was on. The point that was mentioned is it going to be the new normal that we are going to be stuck inside our houses for 6 months? Frankly, nobody knows. Just imagine a 30 to 40 days we can't lock ourselves down inside. What would happen if it will become a year? I'm not asking you to extrapolate in your head, but what I'm trying to ask you is, now you can identify what is a need or a necessity and what is a want. People who are spending otherwise are not spending anymore. If you actually have a team of resources who are millennials and Zs, the millennials and Zs have a spending pattern. They don't want to own anything. They don't want to own houses like us. They want to have a free relationship. They don't want so much of chaos in their life. So that's a new normal for them. If you don't accept that, you can't run businesses effectively. And they are much, much more flexible than us. So you'll have to look at the various generations and use time to learn these generations, to bring these generations to work. Without bringing these generations to work, you cannot move forward. Now, what are you handling basically? How do you advise to handle the corona? First thing is, this is the new normal. All of us are currently sitting like this. We all are. You should understand the new way of communicating, how to use technology and how not to get abused by technology also, very critical. How do you manage whatever setup you have, including your client meetings virtually, including your customers virtually, including getting orders from your customers virtually, including selling to your customers virtually, including building digitally the business, credibility, customer service virtually. Because please understand, even if this lockdown ends, a lot of things are going to take in time to basically come back. With uncertainty, people will restrict their purchases, will restrict their consumer normal behavior, and it will take a year or so to get things to normal. It's always a case, normal human behavior. We are faced with uncertainty. The first thing is fear. Then we fight, and there is a flight of response. So what do? We do exactly this. Now understand what tools are at your disposal. So if you have certain tools that you can learn it right now. How do you approach your daily routine? If you were running an 8-hour shift, reduce it down to a 4-hour shift, because 8 hours is not going to be productive. And please understand, people are not going to run away from you to pick up a job elsewhere. Everybody has to upskill. Everybody has to beat the new normal. You have to create a co-working tool space. I'm going to share certain co-working tools now with you, which I'll be telling you. The co-working tools are nothing but to measure productivity of your individual, which you are normally measuring otherwise, if you are not. For example, there are Trello, there are softwares called Trello. What does a Trello do? Trello is basically enabling you to understand, even if you have a bakery, running a bakery, and you want to understand if the dough is mixed and it's put in and it's come off and it's packed and it's ready to move, all those things can be mapped in across to that. Every person is given a responsibility and everybody moves block by block. You can bring in operational efficiencies which you would have never thought about. You can look at productivity that you have never thought about. But how do you run this? And that is where I request all of you to follow the 4 concepts of leadership light that you have to do. What first you have to do is equip yourself, enable yourself, educate yourself with the right information. You have to collectively bring the team onto the table virtually to sit and discuss how are you going to run your business differently. Please understand, physically, the product has to be delivered to the doorstep. You have to create it somewhere and deliver it. If you're in the services also, you still have to work, if you're in a consulting, to basically educate the customer. You cannot add on a certain cost to it. So the light is always on you to reduce the cost, to reduce the operational value. One of the most important things that we don't understand is what we have in front of us. Did you ever imagine a Uber which was running a vehicle from point A to point B as a taxi system, later on got into food supply, and now Uber Eats is basically also supplying grocery, medicines also, plus essentials. You wouldn't believe they're also started supplying stationery. I'm in Chennai, so I actually consume my complete rim of A4 sheets. I had placed a request, and yesterday morning, it was a Uber Eats guy who delivered the complete rim of A4 sheets along with the toner cartridge. Their entire menu has changed today. Their menu has changed from food display to all essential services display. For people above the age of 50 to 65 who are at certain locations where they cannot venture out, Uber has started off something which is called the medicine and food service. So these get collected from the community kitchen and delivered across to the people. Did you ever imagine this? School buses in many places, which was only used for transportation of this thing, is today started being used for transportation of essentials. Why? There's a truck which is stopped at the border. There is another vehicle which takes over. Everything is happening. Links as a package has been used. I'm going to unmute you, sir. You can ask your question. Please go ahead. I've unmuted you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Sir, okay, now go ahead and speak. Please go ahead and speak.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead and speak, sir.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead and speak, sir.
Hello?
Sir, I can hear you. Go ahead and speak.
Hello?
Your voice is audible. Mr. Omar, your voice is audible.
Ragesh, I think he is unmute now.
I think he has gone back to mute again.
Yeah.
I've unmuted him. Sir, please do not. Yeah, you're on.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead. Speak.
Yes. Hello?
Please go ahead and speak, sir.
Hello?
Sir, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead and speak.
Am I audible to all?
Yeah, you're sir.
I think some issue is with his...
I think he has got an issue. I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
some issue with his sound system. Hello?
So please log out and log in once again. Or you can type in your message into the chat. I could hear you. Sir, we can hear you.
Ragesh, I think some issue with
I'll go ahead. Isn't there anybody else who has a query?
We have T.S. Anandaraman sir is here, then Vijay Kumar, IRS is there.
Okay.
I will unmute the Anandaraman sir.
Kindly unmute him, sir.
Yeah, I unmute Anandaraman sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Oh, it's very nice to listen to you, Mr. Gopinathan, especially your answers on the mid-cap relevance in the new era of Amazon. It was very enlightening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, Sony says, is there another person who has got a query? Then we can get onto the query and then get onto the addressing of other aspects.
Okay. Vijay Kumar sir, any questions? Please unmute Vijay Kumar sir.
One moment, sir. Let me just. Vijay Kumar sir is actually on his own ID, or is he on a different ID such as a phone or something? Does he have a Galaxy phone? Otherwise, if you can message onto the chat window, I can unmute you.
Yes, I have unmute.
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
Kumar, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. You were mentioning about millennials or Zs.
Right.
Millennials, I have heard. What is Zs? I don't know. I am a retired Chief Commissioner Income Tax, so 65 plus. I know. So I just want to know what it is. And your talk was very interesting, very entertaining also. Although it was mainly meant for entrepreneurs, there are quite a number of professionals also, retired government officials also in TMA for your
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for enlightening me. Good evening. I hope you and your family are safe at home.
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, the Z is the new set of youngsters who are coming out, ideally in the age bracket 19, teenagers, the current teenagers,
Okay.
and the new
okay.
generations that you see.
Okay.
If you
okay.
see, they are very highly adaptable.
Ah,
For you, you can be a friend, you can be an uncle, you can be a grandfather also to them.
yes, yes, yes.
So it's a triple platform on which they work. And the second most important thing is you give them trust, faith, and confidence. They work with you. They're futuristic in their thought process.
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't have a rigid mentality. They're open to all sorts of choices and they're willing to learn. But
Yeah.
they're very inquisitive by nature.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you had visualized a couple of years back, I belong to the 1978 cadre of production. My mother delivered me in the fag end of the year, 2 days before the New Year struck. And when I was born with this capability, since I belong to that generation wherein we kept to ourselves, did ourselves, and went on doing things and experimented things.
Yeah.
But the people who came after that during the 80s were neither this side or that side. They were neither too modern nor too primitive.
Yeah.
The only thing that we have to understand is how do they approach, because they have been exposed to a lot of things, sir. So the Z's have been exposed to more than what normal human intelligence can basically survive on in terms of information overflow.
Yeah.
So today, if you see, I have gone to a library,
Yeah.
but today's youngsters would have walked into a library only if they were actually asked to go into a library to learn things and understand and get the experience of it. But otherwise, everything is known by a Google uncle. So there is a Google which gives you all Google related and Gaga related answers.
Yes.
This particular person entitles you to all information which is primary, secondary, and tertiary beyond your age limit.
Yes.
Because of which the person is more informed before the maturity level strikes. And hence it becomes important for us to manage these generations very, very effectively. Now, why I'm asking you to do this, sir? This generation has not seen such kind of an effect. Neither are they committed to form a lifestyle that we all believe in.
Yeah.
They are okay to get married only if they both are in agreement.
Yeah.
In our days, we were made to marry a person whom our parents had a choice with.
Yeah.
But today it is neither love marriage nor it's arranged marriage.
Yeah.
It
It's a
is
marriage of
experience-
convenience.
It's a marriage of convenience. It's an experiential learning marriage.
Yeah.
You experientially learn and understand and evolve, and whether you then decide, should I find a final contract or not a final contract?
What is the benefit you get out of marriage? That also both of them see. Yeah.
Sir, it is because how we have been able to basically carry ourselves out and what we have actually shown the younger generation. What happens is we have kept frustrations with us for 4 to 5 decades. Then naturally, like an atom bomb, which can burst very hard, we come out with our emotional burst after 40 years. By that time, your youth is gone and everything is gone. So you are a frustrated lot in terms of interaction. And seeing that, the youngsters are much more fearful than us. Hence, that is the reason I say, please don't extrapolate things. Because the mind is a very crazy object. If you do not have mind control mechanism, you can go off the neck. Now, for professionals who are there, who are even retired professionals or on consulting or working as solopreneurs or working as freelancers, there is a whole lot of things that can be given. Please understand, sir, in this world, a lot of people need advice.
Yeah.
And advice should not be given free of cost over a tea at a panwala shop or a nukkad corner sitting in a club.
Very valid point. Yes.
Yes, sir. So this professional service is valid and we can give a lot of thought process and ideas.
Yeah.
Kerala is known to generate ideas like no other region in the world. But ideas only remain as ideas and concepts do not get converted into strategies for implementation.
Yeah.
And when this doesn't get converted, our ideas fail. In fact, we have brilliant ideas which don't conceptualize, strategize, and work as a business model. That's the reason, since one of the gentlemen had mentioned the fact, MSMEs will be rolled out of business never. Because the large company cannot make a nut or a bolt. You have to create it.
Yes.
If you are asking if you need highly precision surgical knives to be created, it is going to come back to the MSME. Because everybody cannot afford a $1 lakh surgical knife for the operation. So we have different customer segments. So if you take the entire market, you have the entire universe at your disposal as customer. only identifying the right audience, the right skill sets, the right operational skills, the right execution skills is critical.
Yeah, fully agree with you.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to be an entrepreneur in the days to come, post-COVID, and MSMEs will only prosper. I don't see
Absolutely.
a future for MSME. They will do well in the years to come.
Sir, in fact, more carpenters, more plumbers, and more masons will be required for new companies to be set up in India. Are you ready to meet that? Is your challenge.
Yeah.
Or are you willing to collaborate together?
Yeah.
Sir, I always say, if you have 5 different MSMEs coming together, it becomes a fist.
Yes.
But we are habituated to function as a finger.
Yes.
I hope I've answered your query, sir.
Yeah, 100%. You have answered well. You were born in 1978, you told me.
Yes, sir. My manufacturing date is that. My batch is December and my day is 29, sir.
I belong to 1978 batch of Indian Revenue Service.
I was still under incubation then, sir.
That's a great year also. I consider it like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir,
Okay, you have answered very well.
thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Madhu, any question?
Chandran, you want to ask something? Our friend Chandran may ask.
Yeah. I'll unmute. Chandran.
Please go ahead. Sir.
Chandran sir, please go ahead. Yeah. You can ask
See,
question.
I'm not very conversant. Hello.
Yeah. We can hear.
I'm not very conversant the things that he's been speaking. I am not very good in these technological things. That's all. I am understanding what he is telling about the business and all, but I cannot understand to that extent that I can make a query out of that. That's all. Thank you.
Chandran sir, ഞാൻ ഒരു കാര്യം പറയട്ടെ.
Yeah.
പറയാമോ?
Oh, definitely.
സാറേ, വീട്ടിൽ ആരും ഭക്ഷണം തരാൻ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ഒരു റെസിപ്പി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെങ്കിലും പഠിക്കൂലേ? അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് പച്ച ഉള്ളി എടുത്തിട്ട് മുളക് കുറച്ച് മിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് ഉപ്പ് എണ്ണ ഇട്ട് ചേർത്ത് കുറച്ച് മസാലയും കൂടെ ചേർത്ത് വല്ലതും ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ നോക്കൂലേ? So necessity is the mother of invention, sir.
I know.
So, sir, currently, sir, Chandran sir, there is nothing known as you cannot learn.
No, I understand things. I am trying to learn also.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I am understanding. That's all.
I'm not even thinking, sir.
I am understanding new things. I am understanding new things.
സാറേ, ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ സാറിന്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞുതരാം. യൂട്യൂബ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു ചാനലിൽ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സാറിന് സ്വന്തമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു 1 bedroom വീട് കൺസ്ട്രക്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
Yes, I am a very fan of YouTube and I make use of that YouTube for so many other purposes, not for the company.
I know. So, channelize your energy, Chandran sir, to the moon, as your name suggests. And don't look at the
I am a police officer who has stopped police. I am a builder.
Sir, you can be an excellent person if you were into forensics and criminology to basically teach the youngsters to get them into this.
Yes, but not to forensics. I am an IPS officer. I have been in the field only.
Jai Hind,
now
sir.
that I have stopped that, I am now doing them.
Excellent.
Hello.
Thank you. And the answer, go ahead.
Please, sir. Please.
Now, you said the Keralites have lots of ideas, but they are not able to convert it into action. Now, would you tell me why such an observation on Keralites?
Sir, I 100% believe the fact that we are educated, we are enabled, but we are not empowered in the right framework to take decisions. Half of us go to third world countries and other countries to start off our own business. If you see the immigration of people who move on to the other sphere of world, is tremendous in terms of numbers if you take statistics into account. Now, I'll tell you one important reason, sir. We always have a slight bit of problem understanding the heroes at our home, sir. We never appreciate the people that are there around us. There are people who get appreciated only after a certain period of time. Let me give you a statistic, sir, since I have to answer your point. Kerala produces the maximum number of solopreneurs and entrepreneurs year on year against the complete number of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs in the whole of India. But our failure rates are more than 96%, sir. The reason is we are not incubated pretty well. Incubation means during this period of solopreneurship, entrepreneurship, professionalism to an entrepreneurship, or to get on your own, which is not getting salary into your kitty on the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th or 30th of the month, brings in a lot of anxiety, and there is a lot of social influence also happening on this. A lot of people do not get a chance to explore. And we have wonderful ideas and we have wonderful implementation. If you see the way Kerala has managed COVID-19, rest of the world is learning from us. Now, the entire whole concept of management and everything is learned from us, but we are not able to implement it because we are not creating the right platform for our millennials, Zs, and the generations before them to basically do it.
What is the solution, Mr. Gopinathan?
Sir, I can give you only two solutions, sir. Clap for a person when he does good. Encourage a person when he is actually trying to explore. Sir, with your collective years of experience, you can guide a person through difficulty. I'm absolutely sure about that. But your availability is critical to the person who's going through difficulty. It's a demand and supply, sir. If you are not available for me to ask you questions and seek guidance at the right time, you cannot grow. Our biggest problem is we don't grow our homeborn bread, but we grow it from elsewhere. While we were trying to increase the square feet sizes of our plots, we never thought that there's a square feet size also inside our tummy, which has to fit in a regular food mechanism.
Is there an anti-business streak in Keralites, as if we like only the jobs, but anybody who does business somehow considered to be not the right type of person?
Sir,
is there such a streak?
No, there is nothing like that. 16 different personality types and our personality types collectively from Kerala are natural businessmen. So just imagine, you can still go and control the wealth of an Arab Aramco sitting there even as a finance person, a clerk, or even as an engineer. That is a respect that we draw for the intellect that we have. But collectively, if we become polished leaders, I'm sorry to state this, there is always a collective bias towards people who look a little fairer. I don't look as fair as the rest. But if I'm critically knowledgeful, enabled, and empowered to carry this out, we are the next world. And we should have this belief. But another important factor is, if you bring in ego, then it's an eliminate and then go. But if you remove the E, then it's a complete go. I hope I've answered your question, sir. So it's all the mindset, sir.
Yeah, I think that the last word, I think that's what I liked more, because I've been doing a bit of research into why, despite tremendous success all over the world, wherever we go, back home in Kerala, we are not able to establish institutions about which we can be proud of. I used to always wonder.
Right, sir. Sir, that was told by my grandmother, who did her graduation in the year 1936. She told me this. She said that we have a crab mentality. Sorry to say this, I'm also Malayali. So we don't like the other crab to get out of the...
But that every community says.
No, sir. I would refuse to accept that, sir. If you take a Gujarati community, if you take a Marwadi community, if you take a Sindhi community, they'll collectively grow, sir.
But every community talks about this, about their community. I heard this Greeks talking about it. Everybody.
I've observed them also, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. It was,
right, sir.
Useful. Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else, sir? Soni, sir, anybody else?
Yeah. We'll have more questions.
Please go ahead, sir.
Dagesh is available for us. Please make use of this opportunity. Either you type the question in chat box.
I have one gentleman who's very neatly dressed with an AC inside the house and a complete band on him. I do not know his name though, because it's not reflecting on. I think it's Rishikesh, sir. Rishikesh, sir, is that you? He's following everything as per social distancing. He has distanced himself in a very right manner. Sir, I've unmuted you actually.
Yeah, I am Rishikesh, CFO of Insight Media City. You know the Flowers channel and the 24 channel?
Yes, sir. I'm aware.
Yeah, I am here in office only. That is why I am keeping the distance, you know.
I felt so, because you were completely differently dressed and differently able during the meetings. That's the reason I was just wondering.
Yeah. I was there in Trechur earlier, but now I am in Cochin. So I used to attend this, webinars and all. That's all.
Excellent, sir. Any questions? Any questions with regards to the session, sir?
In fact, I just joined because I was watching the Chief Minister's program. That's why.
Great, sir.
I'm sorry, really sorry. I just joined. That's all.
Not a problem at all, sir. Not a problem at all.
we have Colonel Pratap Chandran, sir. Do you have any questions, sir, please?
Yes,
I have unmuted you, sir.
since the time is there, I got a small question.
So first of all, Jai Hind to
That
you.
is, you see,
First of all, Jai Hind, sir.
Colonel Pratap. Beg your pardon?
I said Jai Hind, sir.
Beg your pardon?
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Ah, Jai Hind. Of course, Jai Hind. Yeah, just because I'm from army, probably. Yes, Jai Hind. Yes. I like to ask you, see, digital companies like TCS and whatnot, they are planning to shift their, to reduce the infrastructure, they are going to allow work from home. Whereas for industrials like, manufacturing business, it is almost an impossible task. You cannot shift everything you can't do from work from home.
True,
So
sir.
what is the remedy?
Sir, manufacturing sector has to work from their factories. There's no other go, sir. But yes,
Yes.
the current business, if you see, you will not be producing at 80% or 90% of the production capacity.
Yes.
You will be producing an optimum to keep your business rolling. Second thing that you will do is that such that the machinery doesn't create any junk or doesn't get spoiled. So you keep out rolling and using it. Now, it is very important for the organizations to run the raw material to the operation cost effectively to run the business viable, sir. Now, all manufacturing. Yes, sir.
In some of the manufacturing sector, like, Benz company and BMW, they have got so much of automation. Most of the machinery can be controlled remotely, maybe from my own home or something like that. So that is, of course, exceptional cases. Probably we may come to that level afterwards.
Sir, what you said is absolutely right. In fact, let me tell you something that is a challenge today, sir. Human adaptation level and human regular output or return on investment or return on time effectively for a given job that is repetitive in nature, which is in recurrence nature, is observed to be slacking. It's going down in the graph. Today's generation especially is not very happy doing the regular job continuously. And as the generations have passed on, that has reduced. So a lot of places automation is required. Second thing, you would see Germany, which you spoke about, Daimler, Benz and BMW, the reason why they have automated is, they found that even when they had the best of the technicians, engineers and others working in, they still had a large scale of errors in their welding and other work, which was later replaced by robotics. So also plus the cost of living is very high there and the cost of employment is also very high in all these countries where you basically have such manufacturing processes. And hence, they couldn't afford the cost of human capital and hence they have replaced it with higher end capital, which is robotics. And they have brought it in because the cost of robotics, if you take it for the lifetime, is more than the cost of human intervention that can be brought in, with the cost of error also that has to be computed in, plus the eventual loss because of mood swings. So robotics doesn't have mood swings. Robotic doesn't get angry. Robotics strictly follows instruction and does routine job. And that is the reason that you might find tomorrow in the armed forces also robotics playing a big role. Where you must have observed in a lot of foreign forces, robotics, drones and others going into places which is of high critical in nature where casualty can be very high.
Yes.
Right, sir?
Yeah, drones are used even in India.
Absolutely right, sir. Army. Yes. I didn't want to name because some people say that Zoom is in China, so they should not know about Indian Army. So I avoided the example. I kept the example generic.
Thank you.
Right, sir.
Sir, yes.
Excellent question.
Rakesh.
Excellent question. Is there anybody else, sir? Sir, I see a lot of people trying to unmute themselves, but I think there is a device problem at their end. Just allow me to move a little more slide forward to give you another perspective of things.
Yes,
Please
yes.
permit me to do this.
Yeah.
Now, if you see of understanding of what is going on, nobody has a clear understanding of it. Nobody clearly has an understanding of it. Why? Sir, 1920 Spanish flu, 1820 cholera, 1720 plague, 2020 coronavirus. Sir, I am not a century old. I believe that none of us are a century old. Neither have we seen any pandemic before this. But we have gone through such problems even in the past. We had the Great Depression. The entire history has gone through it. So we are adaptable. We can change and we can move forward. But to do that, you need to do the following. One of the most important thing is, since you see this current obstacle, you don't see the opportunity around the obstacle. Sir, every Kirana shop today is a possible Amazon vendor. Every MSME today manufacturing materials such as clothing, let's say for instance, mask, anything, is a prospective vendor through the supply chain model of Amazon. But are you enrolled onto it? Can you do it? Can you meet the production capacity? Is up to you. Can you supply bread, which is fresh bread, 100 pieces of fresh loaf of breads without your transportation system through a third-party transportation to be delivered across to a school which is a boarding school? Is it possible? All of it. Now, if you see, there were pasteurized milk that came in. Then after that, they came in packs, which are Tetra packs. Then came in long life packets, which is there to basically fit into the requirement of the changing demand of people. So the fear and anxiety, please minus it. Understand that what we need to get around and work on a business model that is going to help you to work around this. What else? Is it the worst history in pandemic? We are still continuing, so we do not know. If there is something else after COVID-19, I do not know. But touch wood, I would say that nothing after this, because we had enough of it. So if we mend our ways, and don't we have executive cuisine of trying out things that is not meant in our food chain, you can avoid a lot of trouble. But if we try to experiment with it, nature will take its own course. Now, another important aspect that I want to tell you is, everything will pass. Ignore too much of information, which is only gossip, gossip, and gossip. Read only trusted information. Please understand, nobody has got a PhD in COVID. No college or university is giving that. Nobody has got a pre-experience on this. It's a collective experience of experience and tire. Hence, be careful to follow the crowd. Just because one MSME said that I'm shutting shop, doesn't mean you all shut shop. Probably his business condition or business health condition or the financial stability was much poor before the start of COVID. He was already given a lot of information, but people always do not accept their mistakes. So what do? They pass fear across to others. So be careful about that. Following trend lines, not headlines. What I want to see is, we should see smart ways of how large companies work. We should see if we can have a pie of the share. It's like you have a complete cake, you cannot have that. A complete cake must be close to about 50,000 kilocalories. You can only have your share of 150 calories. Have your share of 150 calories out of that. That's a smart way of doing business. Notice the positive in this chaos. What is the positive in this chaos? Food is still required. Water is still required. There are other things that is essential. Cloth is required. Yes, purchase would not be that frequent. So you have to reduce the complete production volume. Pay attention to the experts. There is always hidden information in the experts that they tell you. So if you can reduce your overall aspect of business function, try to see that. Doesn't mean that tomorrow you fire 50 people saying that I heard this lecture and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Don't do that. Evaluate, do a SWOT analysis, do a pest analysis, do a complete market feasibility analysis before you get into that. Most importantly, why do you need to pay attention to the experts? These are classified information. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, and if you're on WhatsApp, God help you. So listen to the experts, get the right source of information. Second thing, please don't start reading in between the lines. If the subject doesn't give you clarification, understand from the expert, clarify from the expert. We all have a habit of making this error of going overboard and trying to understand the situation. Because what happens is, we listen to only half of the information, we compute the rest half of the information, we extrapolate the total information that is misinformation, and then we create a story. Hence, it becomes very critical create the right context for the right situation. Half of the people speak out of context. That is the reason why you have a fight, flight, or a freeze of flight response. That's very, very critical. Another important factor is threats. What is your basic threat? You're already locked down. You do not know what to do. You are in a situation where you have never been before, and you have been given all these facts. Definitely your mind will start thinking about this. So if you do water plans, if you sit with your children, sit and spend time with your children, do something effectively. You must be working 12 hours a day. Ensure that you also help your wife in the kitchen, make something new, try something new, burn something new, even if you can't have it. But do it, experiment it, learn. This is the only way forward. Another most important thing that I want to tell you is, how do you make decisions during such uncertainty? If you are carrying the 3 F's, where you are in a flight or a fear mode, you cannot take decisions. You do not know the road ahead. But observe the other people who are smarter than you, who are reaching the head of the curve and doing things. See, as I told you, a business is a complete sphere. In the sphere, you have a share. See and connect the dots to see where you can fit in. And once you know where you can fit in, what do? Bother about the pandemic. You see an opportunity, and what do? You start working on these decisions. So what should I do? How should I make these decisions under such? Bring a collective decision. Don't blame your team members. Work it out together. Can we do this business differently? Can we, if the assembly line is to produce a cloth, can we make, instead of that, mask? Mask is still required. People are going back into manufacturing. They are going to separate themselves with this. Sanitizers are required. What is the chemical combination of a sanitizing? How do you create the sanitizing pack? What is the longevity of using a sanitizing pack? How does the sanitizing pack need to be originated? How do you create all the, everything is a business. Nobody knows what is going to happen. Sir, even if you go to an astrologer, he'll give you misinformed information, because as per astrology, you should have the lat-long reading. You should know in what degree you have been taken out, whether it's a natural delivery or it is an artificial delivery, where was your hospital located, and to click all this time while you are having a delivery is impossible. So please don't do that. So nobody knows. Leave something to Almighty God, whomever you believe, and let that happen. Moving forward, managing stress. You know why the stress? എനിക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ, എങ്ങനെ ഗൈഡ് ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. അതിന് ബിസിനസ് എങ്ങനെ മാറണമെന്ന് നോക്കൂ. How is the business evolving? How is the business changing? How is the business taking a new shape? Is myself, my team, everybody equipped to take the new change? Can I financially work into the new business model? What I was selling at 100 rupees, can I sell at 80? Questions. I was never doing such service. What do I need to do my service in this way? Something which is off the shelf. A company like Canon during the best of the times went out of business. Why? Because they didn't reinvent. A better example is Nokia. It was not willing to purchase an Android application for a tune of only mere 1 crore. And today, see, it's displayed out of the market and struggling to get back, when Nokia was the name in the world. And somebody from Korea manufactured something which was done in Taiwan, replicated it and bettered it. Sir, Ajit Kumar sir, I want to tell you, Kia Motors is the largest assembly line of SMEs and MSMEs, largest supply line of SMEs and MSMEs. Kia Motors manufactured for more than 150 different automobile companies. And Kia Motors has today launched world over. They are beating Benz, they are beating rest of them. What are the vehicle? Curios, Kia, Kudros, all those things. Where are these vehicles coming from? It is nothing but like we purchased an assembled computer. So if you take the luxury car segment, which is a sedan, is a mix of a Rolls-Royce, a Benz, a BMW, a Jaguar, all put together. If you remember the old Sonata, it used to look like the JLR Jaguar version, which was of 1996. Sonata brought out that and they stopped production. Why? Because they were accused of it. Why? Because it was produced in Kia Motors. So please understand, flexibility is there. moving forward, how do you manage all these stresses? And before that we get to that point, for the benefit of everybody, I want all of you to ask in questions to yourself as to how do you run this business. How do you run this business? Run your business. Because this is going to be a slide like this. I'm not going to put any content in this slide. This is the last slide. How are you going to manage the stress of recovering back to normal? How? So newspapers became digital newspapers. They still have a subscription free. People still want newspapers, but digitally take an iPad to their washrooms. Still happens. Some people cannot get over the feeling of the newspaper, so they carry the physical newspaper. But other than that, business is still possible. Soni sir, I want the audience to start asking questions to themselves, to me as well, to find out what is the new normal.
Sure, sure.
Sir, Corona namla kondupoyalu illengilum BP എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു പ്രശ്നം നമ്മളെ കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. Because if it goes with too much of thinking, that is dangerous.
We have one question from Soma Sajeevan.
Please go ahead,
Shall
sir.
I unmute him?
Please go ahead, sir.
We have only 5 more minutes to.
Done, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
It's a good evening anyway. Very good talk. Passion in the talk is much more.
Thank you, sir.
And attractive.
Thank you, sir.
The point, Soniji, if you are keeping it in this mute condition and everybody is asking, please ask question, it's not possible. You have to allow all the participants that mute option, unmute option when the question time comes. Then only we can ask.
Okay, okay.
It's one other thing.
Sir, if we can have a collective order, then everybody can be unmuted.
Yeah, we are, I think sensible. I think.
Yeah, we will do that.
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Tell me, sir.
Everyone in TMA is very, very good. Absolutely.
Right.
You did mention about the fight, flight, and the freezing. And the freezing point, what are that? Because today, you have to be the triple bottom people, thinking about planet, profit, and people. Then only you can become a good survivor for the future. So
right.
Can you expand a little more on that freezing part?
So the freezing aspect of it happens when you have too much little information and you have most of it, which is imagination, and take a decision on the go. I'll give you a very simple example, sir. Soma sir, you would have seen that Mercedes-Benz came into Sri Perumbudur Orgadam Industrial Estate 5 years back. And 5 years back, they were not producing. 5 years back, they were not producing the same amount of vehicles that they are producing like Ashok Leylands and Tatas. What did they do? They did something that the Tatas and the Ashok Leylands never imagined. What did they do? They reduced down the cost of operation of a Mercedes-Benz truck. They brought down the cost of it to such a level, it is today 1/3 of the cost of maintaining a Tata vehicle once every 10,000 kilometers. What did Tata do for that? Tata created a new program immediately without even getting into the facts of it that they would be bleeding if they get into such a service model, which was a freeze response to the situation that Benz created. So what did basically the Benz do? Benz said, instead of buying 2 Tata vehicles or 2 Eicher vehicles or 2 Ashok Leyland vehicles, buy 1 Benz vehicle. It has a better gear ratio, it has got a better pulling power, and it can take more gross weight as compared to your Tata vehicle and is economically serviceable. And hence, the entire shift of platform for multi-axle vehicles, which are basically water tankers, in Chennai shifted from Ashok Leyland's, Eicher Motors and Tatas to this. What did it do? It brought down a complete requirement of double axle vehicles or multi-axle vehicles for Hinduja Motors. The flight response was they brought in a heavier engine, they brought in a stronger engine, and they reinforced their chassis, and over and above that, they added multiple axles. But what did this lead to? That led to an additional operational service cost, including the cost of tire wear and tear. If you measure the length of the chassis of a Benz and mention the length of the chassis of Ashok Leyland, both are at two different levels. The chassis length of a Mercedes-Benz 22513 is approximately 14.8 meters. Ashok Leyland is only at 14 meters. But the 14.8 meters of Mercedes-Benz has a better turning radius and also has a better carrying capacity as compared to an Ashok Leyland. And the fuel consumption is lesser than that of Ashok Leyland, where the Ashok Leyland fuel consumption is 1.25 kilometers per liter, where Benz's consumption is 2.25 kilometers per liter.
Rakesh, we have a final question from Mr. Radish.
Right, sir.
Let me mute Radish first.
Okay.
His question is about education sector. What is going to be the new normal in education sector? How do we manage the change at institutional and personal level?
Education is going to be more digital now, sir. You will have classrooms, you will have all these things, but as we parents, as we know, we are not going to send our children home for a long time. In the sense that we are not going to send them into hostels, we are not going to send them into schools. It will take some time to get rid of this fear. As if everybody is safe, because people come from different communities, different areas into a school. And hence, education will have to happen on a digital mode, I think, for a little more longer time. But one thing that you should be very careful about of a digital mode education is, already our children do not get out of the house. They are already playing with their friends on a digital mode, and education is also on a digital mode, so health can suffer. So I would encourage that people to basically engage their kids to the next level of getting to play with them, getting to move them a bit for the health. Second most important thing, all institutions and organizations who are also going to educate themselves at personal level or with some other additional help also need to look at this. You will not be able to afford the normal education or cost. Let me tell you something. There's some interesting fact all of you should read and understand. Harvard, in the history of its complete education so far, has started giving free online courses through EDX. Free online courses, which is as costly as 60,000 Indian rupees. Can you beat that? It is usually charged in pound sterling and US dollars, is coming free today. The reason is Harvard will have the maximum drop like other large universities and colleges in terms of people getting back to the institution because of this. There'll be a lot of restrictions between countries also of people to travel. Immigration will have one more checkpoint of checking you if you are okay. So this normalcy before it returns, the current normal is digital. Hence, I request all of you not only to sit in front of a laptop, an iPad or a phone, but also to move yourself a little bit and dance to some Prem Nazir music or otherwise, or some rocking music for keeping yourself flexible, good enough and fit enough. Like in the army, they mention, if sir can permit me to say, if you are at war, you go into the war and participate in the war. If you are not at war, you still participate in doing exercises to keep your mental, men and equipment fit. So please practice that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. It was an excellent session. We are running out of time.
Sure, sir.
We have some more questions, but due to the paucity of time, we are not going to the questions right now. We will revert back informally or in next session.